This BET Awards is a little different. Main thing is it's virtual. We're getting real in touch with being real inside, because outside is on one.
We're going to move into the next topic. This weekend, we on Sunday, we had the BET Awards, and we had that experience, and Amanda Seales hosted it. A lot of the performances were like, they had a lot of, imagery, black imagery, and a lot of support for the Black Lives Matter movement. We saw a lot of people supporting George Floyd, Breonna Taylor,
Ahmaud Arbery.
So we had a lot of support and, like a lot of imagery that like we needed to see. And they actually did a really good job. I was shocked at how good the BET Awards was. But some people felt like, they kind of overdid it with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything. Like
no such thing.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I'm just reporting and I'm just a messenger. So a lot of people felt like artists, like they took the moment and they were doing too much opposed to just giving a good performance. But I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the imagery. I enjoyed like what I saw. Let's just briefly talk about some of our highlights of the BET Awards. I'm pretty sure most of you won't talk about Amanda Seales.
Well, firstly, to address that about them overdoing it, I don't think I think it's a slippery slope, because it's like if you don't cover it, then you're attacked for like not being aware enough, not reading as people say. So I think it's just one of those things that we're going through right now, and it's heavy, and fortunately or unfortunately is bleeding into the entertainment field, where like it has to be addressed. So we're gonna see this for months on end. It's not just the BET Awards. We're gonna see this everywhere. Like it's gonna be, if we get, whenever football comes back and we get a Super Bowl performance, this is gonna be at the helm of that shit. Like it's gonna be a topic. It's a topic right now all across the world. So I think it was covered the way that it should have been. I think as far as performances, Meg's performance was really good. The whole Mad Max theme. I did like overall about like what I did like about the performances being planned was that artists were able to strategize exactly how they wanted their shit put out. A lot of them were lip syncing, unfortunately, which I don't know why, but Meg was a highlight. Anderson .Paak was a highlight. The Baby got a lot of people talking. Because he reenacted that George Floyd incident.
You look like Anderson .Paak in the face ass nigga a little bit. My bad. I just had to throw that out.
You said what? I don't even
like
know.
Anderson .Paak a little bit.
Son of wonderful Anderson.
You favor him a little bit. The teeth and all. He got them big ass teeth.
Yeah.
Like,
that's affordable Anderson .Paak. Andre .Paak.
Didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. Go ahead, brother. My fault.
But yeah, that's what I was closing out on. There was some dope performances. I didn't really care for Amanda Seales hosting. She made a mockery of all the shows that niggas grew up watching. It was weird. It was just
Regg's tweets. Regg is living.
Bro, how does a person with the least amount of lines of Insecure host BET Awards? How does that happen?
Ooh.
I don't know.
More than that, bro.
So let's address that, because I don't know why you keep saying that. Like she's not a relevant.
Fam, you have.
Hold on. Let's get to that later.
Regardless of how you feel about her, like
she's still relevant.
Yeah,
she's still
relevant. She's the black woman, Rob.
Don't do that, because you're pandering. Don't do that.
I'm not pandering to anything. I love black women. Do you?
You really?
Oh, wow.
Hold on, Rob. She was
History speaks for itself, Rob.
Daytime Emmy-nominated network show. Like, let's not do that. Like, she had her own HBO comedy special. Like, Amanda Seales, whether you like her or not, she does have a space in this industry and a voice that people need. That she does, and she does articulate herself very well. Whether you like her or not, she's able to get white people's attention, because she was one of the main people that actually checked Caitlyn Jenner's stupid ass when she had to explain to them what white privilege was at a table full of white people who could not even understand or begin to fathom our plight. So as much as she may not be my fave all the time, she is necessary, because we need that person to actually check white people and make white people feel uncomfortable. And I'm not mad ever at Amanda Seales making white people uncomfortable. Ever.
I know as a man.
A big part of this that I'm happy about is that BET, normally we get at VMAs, will stream on VH1, BET, and MTV at the same time. I was waiting to see if that happened. It didn't, but BET Awards is actually streaming on CBS. CBS, a local news station, which middle America clings to, because that's majority of those watchers and viewers where the CMAs broadcast and the AMAs, well, the AMAs is on ABC, but the CMAs is broadcasted on CBS. And when that little mulatto up there singing that country song, I'm telling you, white middle America was livid. So I'm not mad about Amanda Seales being the face of this show right now. I am just wanting them to actually, I think BET set the standard for how a virtual award show is going to be done. They're the first ones to do it ever, and they set the precedent. And I think they did it very well, and they deserve kudos for that because Black people, once again, setting the standard. I do think that with a lot of the heavy content, there should have been maybe some verbal warnings on the screen in case there were children watching, and parents maybe were going to be sensitive to what they have their children see, because certain conversations need to be had with children before they see things visually on screen in terms of art. But I'm not mad at the expression. I think we need to give kudos to the Black women that were able to kind of create freely and give us a little bit of the break that we needed, like Chloe and Halle knocked the shit out the park. Roddy Ricch, the opening I thought was great. I think my only critique was the Doritos commercial when the bitch sang, "I can't breathe." And I was just like,
that was a little weird. That's
bizarre. But other than that, I thought they did a really good job.
Shout out to Little Richard. That was beautiful. Wayne Brady killed it, and he was the one, because if you watch Whose Line Is It Anyway from 12 to 2 p.m. on Hallmark or something channel, you will see Wayne Brady sing his ass off. He was one of the most talented men in the world.
He's the greatest.
So I love that part so much.
Very good.
The greatest.
All right. Anything else, guys? On the
BT got it right, bro.
They got it right. Okay. So.
Thank you so much for this beautiful honor. I want to dedicate this award to all of my brothers out there, all of my sisters out there inspiring me, marching and fighting for change. Your voices are being heard, and you're proving to our ancestors that their struggles were not in vain. Now we have one more thing we need to do to walk in our true power, and that is to vote. I'm encouraging you to continue to take action, continue to change and dismantle a racist and unequal system. We have to continue to do this together, continue to fight for each other and lift each other up, because there are people banking on us staying at home during local elections and primaries happening in states across the country. We have to vote like our life depends on it, because it does. So please continue to be the change you want to see. Thank you everyone who took the time to speak in that beautiful presentation. And thank you, BET, for this honor. It means so much to me, especially coming from y'all. I love you deep. God bless you, and good night.
The next topic that I want to go into, Beyonce. She won a Humanitarian Award that night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So earlier that the night before, Saturday night, No Name decided to send some tweets out, and people kind of felt like she was talking about,
why you taking your earrings off?
A particular artist. And we find out the next morning she's talking about Beyonce, and then she shows Beyonce in blackface, and I think that photo was in 2011. She basically said that Beyonce was out of touch and that Beyonce is trying to sell the African experience, and she doesn't know anything about it. A lot of people chimed in, and there were a lot of people that agreed. There were a lot of people that were in the Beehive that felt like she had no right and that she needed to watch her tone.
Learn your place, peasant. Are you
No, time out. No, time out.
Wait. Did you tell a black woman to watch her tone?
Time out.
Crazy how they love you 1 week.
It can come to you too. Do you want it or not?
Wait.
Hold on. Wait. That's before we get there. Taurian, did you just tell a woman to watch her tone?
Whoa, Danny, you can't hear? Do you have a problem?
No, see? Look at you. You sound just like J. Cole. That's what got him in trouble.
Time out.
I told her to watch her tone. I didn't say that.
Y'all trying to set each other up.
Let me say this part, because most of us was in this for the episode last week, right?
Yes.
And
shout out to Chrissy.
And during that conversation, I sat that out.
Mm-hmm.
Sat that out. If y'all know me, y'all know I love this show and I love talking to y'all. But that one, LaShawn sat that out, right? But this goes to what Cosi said. or we picking and choosing what line we can cross. You know what I'm saying?
What is it?
I've never seen someone be black be in blackface.
Let me finish.
Wild.
Let me finish,
That's
right?
crazy. That's bizarre. What the fuck are you talking about?
We literally when it came to her and her pitch on like it was like damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like if I ask you to educate me, I should know myself. But if I don't like the way you say it, you know, can you find a different way to say it to me? Can you watch your tone? Yo, black man shouldn't do that. Don't say it. I bet. All right, cool, no problem. Sit that out. Oh, I wish so-and-so was as big as Beyonce. Yo, shorty, watch your tone.
Angela
How
Davis.
is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not right. So going based off of last week, now this week, how come Beyonce is where we draw the line to say, watch your tone. Don't go there. Don't do that.
So,
but if it draws the lines of like, yo, you know, let's come to all one accord. If a black man says it, it's watch your tone. But as soon as Beyonce mentions it, everybody, because I'm part of the hive, I can be like, yo, keep Queens. Keep the Queens.
LA, is it Uchi Wally or one
mic?
Oh,
is it one mic? That's all I want to know, bro.
I think y'all need to relax.
I know why.
12 niggas in here, and y'all will easily be watch. I'm just saying.
No, but I'm just asking a question.
Uh-oh, Felix.
I think Beyonce can say whatever she wants.
Thank you.
Because
that's not right though.
Hold on.
Because in the same vein, your grandma can say all those weird old things in the kitchen. Beyonce's an old lady now. Like she can say whatever she wants.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be. I knew Felix was gonna.
Beyonce today is not Beyonce 4 years ago. She's one of those elderly acts.
What?
Things. All right, she's in her Celine Dion.
Embezzled.
The plane is going down. The plane is getting shot down.
I'm tweeting this right now.
Embezzled.
And you know, let me say this real quick as the only woman in this motherfucker, because y'all got me fucked up. And I've had some crown. Like Jadakiss, I'm a little intoxicated. No, I'm kidding. I want people to stop, right? They literally put Beyonce in a category where she cannot win for losing. She cannot win for losing. If she doesn't do enough for black people that she publicizes, y'all would say she don't do enough for black people. If she does certain things, it's like, oh, why'd she use a filter when she actually would donate to a cause? Like there's literally nothing she can do to please anybody.
Both of those, Chloe, both of those things can be true at the same time, though. Like Chloe, she doesn't.
So Rob, let him talk.
She's not a god. She does her job. At the end of the day, she's a entertainer and she uses her platform.
Yeah, that's great. She can do that. The thing is that she's gonna do some things very well. She's like, for example, her highlighting black businesses and hosting them on the page is fantastic. But I also feel like, she shouldn't have had anything to do with the Lion King soundtrack. I think that in a way that was kind of appropriation in that concept. I thought it was a little cringeworthy seeing her kind of absorb that culture and push that out there, because there was content, there were acts that did the same thing that she did, that she siphoned and kind of stole that from, and then used it for her video for Spirit. So it's kind of in a way like you can call out both. I can exalt Beyonce for doing some fantastic things, and I can also say that was kind of corny, you doing this at the same time. Yes, I don't think it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. I think it's an ebb and flow. If you do great shit, you're up here. If you do horrible shit or you do kind of whack shit, which she has done whack shit from time to time. She's a fantastic artist. She's an amazing, I love everything about Beyonce. I think that, she's one of the greatest, women vocalists of all time. I think that she's going to go down in the history books, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that everything that she does is gold. That doesn't mean that everything that she does deserves praise, because there's a lot of shit that you can call out and say, that was cringeworthy, that was biting, that was appropriation, that's not your space. You should have passed that along to the next person.
There's mad shit that she did. I can name like 10 right now.
Like there's a lot of things that she does where, and in the beehive, as soon as you open your mouth, the beehive is up your ass. Like, oh nah, watch your mouth, don't say nothing. But it's like, wait a minute, like LA said, where's the accountability? If we're gonna sit here and say, yo, we're gonna call out Kendrick, we're gonna call out J. Cole, and we're gonna say they got rabid fan bases too. And the fan bases were all up in arms, and then we still was like, nah, both things could be true. J. Cole is a fantastic lyricist, but the nigga should have shut the fuck up when he came out with that song. Beyonce is an amazing artist, but she also could have sat a couple things out, and she didn't have to do, you know, specific things in her career. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that No Name was on to something when she talked about, you know, Angela Davis. We wish that Angela Davis got as much love as Beyonce, and that's a true fact. Every child knows who Beyonce is. I think that those same children and these same people should also know who Angela Davis is as well. I don't agree with every tweet, but that tweet right there, the one that really, really stroked the fire, that's a true statement. Where's the lie? Yeah, where's the lie? Like, we're exalting Beyonce and we're looking at her for being like some type of, you know, driving force. Like, we push her as being some type of like cultural, just pushing everything forward, radical. This is the woman we need to be paying attention to. But the woman that's in Julius's background has set the tone, has really set the precedent for what revolution looks like, what being a strong Black woman looks like. And the fact that people can mention Beyonce and not Angela Davis, who is that? That's a problem. That's an issue. And that is sad to see.
I don't think that's Beyonce's fault, though. I think that's history, but I think that's schooling and people's parents.
It's not. No, it's not Beyonce's fault. No, the way you said it was.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
So, but like to Cosi's part, the initial tweet of like, yo, I wish, you know, Angela Davis was as big as Beyonce. That is true, bro. Like I've said it to you. Like, I wish this show was as big as the next shit, you know, because I feel like this is better. So it's just, but it's because you want with that comes with wanting that person or that set thing to get high recognition. So the movement and the work that Angela Davis is doing, I can't front. I see No Name tweet that name come, and I'm like, all right, let me do my Googles on who this woman is. Then I did my research, and I'm like, oh, nah, she definitely needs to be as big as Beyonce, if not bigger, right? So I think what it is sometimes, I'm gonna preface my statement. Sometimes it's not what the person is saying, it's how they deliver it, you know? So sometimes that can sway a person's reaction, you know? I'm not gonna say that part, but to sum it up, to sum it up, sometimes it's more of the how you say something to somebody that will determine how it's received. Like, yeah, we all know like this woman deserves to be, if not bigger than Beyonce, just as big. But I guess the way the tone, oh shit, bleep that out.
Context.
Yeah, the context. Yeah, the context to it, how it was said, and truthfully the platform. Because Twitter, like, you can only gauge so much off of a tweet, you know. So I agree, bro.
It's just the history books, and Angela Davis was always vilified. You know, she was a communist, so she was always vilified for her thoughts. She was vilified for escaping to Cuba for all that time. Aretha Franklin is the one who had her come back, and she was able to beat all her charges and be free. But I just think that the way she was portrayed in American history is more of the problem, and less of what Beyonce did.
Oh, but I think to that point, people like Angela Davis and the things that they stood for is why we have people like Beyonce now that have the platforms to do what they can do with what they try to do. Be that as it may, I think that the only thing that was kind of off base to me during that whole Beyonce moment was it didn't talk about the LGBTQ plus community who really supports Beyonce a lot. And I feel like they get left out when it comes to the Beehive. No, I said the LGBTQ plus community.
No, I'm just saying you're saying for her new
the Beyonce tribute
to try to like get at Beyonce.
Oh no, relax.
I think
it's not just Beyonce.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of female artists, unfortunately,
and male
who profiteer off of the LGBTQ community that don't really stand in moments to be actual allies. And I think that's really fucked up.
I just want to know.
Beyonce that Humanitarian Award last night at the BET Awards, and it wasn't mentioned at all. And I feel like it's painting a different, it paints a narrative that shouldn't be there, especially when half of that community she knows is a part of the LGBTQ plus community. And the fact that you act like it doesn't exist, she's not exempt. She's not the only one that doesn't do it, but it needs to be said.
I don't
So
know.
is she supposed to just? Is she supposed to say,
Rob, that might be a
Rob, you reaching.
She's,
Like I said.
she's treating everyone as equal. She's supposed to separately say, thank you to all my Black women that support me. Thank you to all my Asian women that support me. Thank you to all my white women that support me. Thank you to all my gay Black. Like, is she supposed to go? Thank you to all my, like, is she supposed to? I think she's so inclusive where that's not even a thing where she just feels like she has to say that.
She has to say that. She should have said that. No, she doesn't have to go down the list because white women don't need to be exalted. Asian women don't need to be exalted. But the LGBTQ plus community, the communities that are targeted and killed for struggling with their identities, they do need to be lifted up. They do. Period.
They do, absolutely. And
so she should have said that. Period.
I think we're being really hard on the senior citizen.
Not yo, she's only okay. So she's 38, so she's not old, right? She's 30. She's 38. She's not old. Niggas. Hov is still rapping at 52, and we're still loving every moment of it. And we don't call him a senior citizen, so we gotta extend. We gotta extend to her the same respect that we do to Hov. At the end of the day, Beyonce has a huge platform. A huge platform. Her voice has reached. She has a voice that transcends genres, races. So white people, white women are looking to them. White women, white gay men are also looking to her as well. And she has to use these moments to say, listen, I know it's all about inclusiveness, but in a way, her trying to be inclusive to me is also exclusionary at the same time because she's not highlighting the people who are targeted, the people who are murdered, the people who are killed for who they are. And and these people resonate with her music. These people exalt her for who she is. Absolutely. And I think that could have been a moment where she really put herself out there and was like, listen, this is for my Black women. I did it for my Black women. I did this for my transgender women. I did this for my women who don't have a voice. Like, these are the moments that define an artist and also increase your fanship at the same time.
So you want her to have a Rihanna moment where
let me ask you this though. Did you feel like that was left out in her speech? Like when she was done with her speech, did you feel like that wasn't a part of it? Like that could have been a part of it?
I do.
You felt like it was
only because I think that not women, but artists like the Beyoncés and Nicki Minaj's, a couple of those artists who they really do profit from the LGBTQ community, especially the Black LGBTQ community.
And Nicki never acknowledges them. Let's be clear.
She doesn't. She doesn't at all.
It's hidden. It's hidden under barbs. The barbs is the.
I think Nicki.
No.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Nah, Nicki doesn't.
Cut the shit. Like it's a point where you have to acknowledge your fan base for who they are and what they are, and it would be a lie if we act like they just don't exist in her fan base. And if it's 100%, I want to say at least 40% to 50% is a part of the LGBTQ community that support Beyonce, and it acts like no one. It was on Twitter last night too. Like, wow, okay, see you, sis. And I was like, well. So it's not like I'm talking out the side of my ass. It's a conversation that was being had.
I'm a question, right?
It's enlightening because I didn't realize that was something that had to be acknowledged. Because I thought it was one of the things that was understood. But that's enlightening to me because I didn't realize that. Now that I think about it, I don't think she ever has. So I.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. When she did like the 7-Eleven video. And when she has like Hold Up that was written by a transgender person, right?
Single ladies, there's a transgender dancer.
Dancers, right? So if history has shown that she supported them throughout this whole year and this one moment she didn't verbally say it, do we then discredit what she's done over the last decade? Like she's giving them opportunities, especially when the law was passed. I think she stood with them. I think for the 7-Eleven video, if I'm not mistaken, or there was when the law was passed, like she supports. I'm not sure what term to use, but she supported that community, right?
I thought it was an unspoken thing that she just automatically does because she's so inclusive.
So basically, like, so if I have this community and I embrace this community, but in that very moment I didn't say it, is that like what happens to like blaming on my mind but not my heart? Like, you know, maybe I forgot to say it, but that doesn't take away from what's in my heart. Because Rob was saying,
moment.
Right, for sure. Maybe
it's
going
a teachable moment.
That's all I'm saying.
But for Rob to say that she doesn't acknowledge them, that's not a fact.
That's not true.
So we all watched 8 minutes and 46 seconds, correct?
Facts.
Yeah, we did.
Right. So Dave Chappelle, he gave a heart, felt, moment where he talked about how it had his relationship to him. Now, what group of people didn't he mention? What names didn't he mention? Right? He didn't talk about the transgender people who were also murdered. He talked about the black men. He talked about the black women. People crucify
women either.
People crucify him for not being inclusive and mentioning everybody. So I'm just talking about the consistency. LA mentioned the consistency. So for us to not be Uchiwali or One Mic, the same way we gave energy to Dave Chappelle for not highlighting the transgendered people while he was talking about black people being murdered and being very specific about it to raise awareness. It was one of the most watched, it was trending #1 on Netflix for 3 days. 3 days. And you know how many people have to listen for it to get those numbers. Beyonce, BET was mentioned, as you said, Chloe, it was on CBS. It was on multiple networks at the same time. That's a moment. Like if she had, like that's a moment for you to say, whoa, this moment right here is transcending on a lot of different levels. And I have to use this moment. I have to maximize. That's what it's about. Artists maximize when it comes to their benefit. Artists know how to gain the most out of their attention that they're getting. She could have extended that attention. The same way she had a single ladies moment, she also could have added this to the catalog of moments where she said, I stand with my LGBTQ plus community, and this is going to be another example of how I do so as well.
I think we're also in a new time where these are unprecedented times where people have never had to say these things before. And I think we also have to give a little room where, because back in the day when people were like this were coming up, she's been called elderly. She's grown up in a time where she's watched artists move around and we didn't have to get political. They weren't activists. They weren't using these platforms. Social media didn't exist. And you have to give people a little bit of credibility to adapt with the time and to evolve with the time. I think the celebrity world has changed and entertainment has changed so much where we would get albums 4 year gaps from artists. We didn't hear about their personal lives until it was on one red carpet or they made one interview. We didn't see them live out every day. And the world has evolved and been more inclusive since then. I think we're gonna have to figure out at what pace we're gonna allow people to evolve and transition into those moments to understand like this is a pivotal time to say these things and when it's not. And I think obviously, like, of course, I think, she wants to be inclusive. She understands that this is who it goes without saying who she supports in her mind. But I think for us being like, hey, we need you to acknowledge us, there's a new thing now where everybody needs acknowledgement. Everybody.
I think I hear what you're saying, Chloe, but when it comes to Beyonce, I can't put that on her. And I'm not part of the Beehive or none of that. But I know for like Black
everybody.
For like Black History Month, she posted Jeanette Mark on her website and told her fans to follow her because she is the biggest activist in that community. So it's like she is using that platform. So if she didn't do it for BET, she's done it on her websites, she's done it on her videos, she's still with them. Like, as a creative, bro, I don't know if I want this spotlight shit, because son, you know what I'm saying?
Because you can never do anything right.
It's tough, bro.
So also, I think the difficulty coming in now is just that, I mean, I could argue that 10 years ago it was taboo to raise a black fist or to speak up.
Thank you, Taurian. Thank you.
Right? So what I think is that because like right now like that's like now nobody's scared to say it. Like now it seems like everybody is saying it, right? And it's in such like a short period of time. Like people are being aggressively black, and like it's okay now. Now you won't like lose a deal for doing that, or you won't, people can say Black Lives Matter and it won't, and you won't have, you still get this and you hate me, but you'll still be celebrated and praised up and propped up. But I think now artists are still like catching up. Like you have a lot of artists that do support the LGBTQ community. Like let's say somebody like Lady Gaga, right? She came crazy hard for them. Like, crazy. And there's like other artists that do it, and like she talks to them, and she doesn't even talk to other fans. Like whenever she wins awards and things like that. So I think the thing is that a lot of artists have to catch up, because I think a lot of them are just realizing like, oh, I can say Black Power. I can say I'm unapologetically Black. Like they just got in that comfort zone to even do that. So I don't think that they ignore it. I just think that they're just learning how to be activists themselves, because a lot of artists aren't activists and they aren't people that speak on things, and I think that's more of the issue as well. Is like we put a lot on artists to stand up and speak on things, and then you have some that do it and then they fall really flat on their faces. So I do hope that eventually like Beyonce does do something to make that community feel heard and feel spoken for, because there's such does, bro. No, but you know what I mean though. Like if they're saying that they don't feel heard, then they don't feel heard. Like they don't feel.
That's their experience.
Was that the consensus?
That's true. Like I can't argue with that. Like that community, they do say that. Like they do.
No, I'm talking about in regards for Beyonce last night. In that moment, was that like a thing? Because I didn't peep that.
I didn't think. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think it was a big deal. But I didn't see anything. It wouldn't have hurt for her to just say that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a big deal personally, but it wouldn't have hurt, and it definitely would have been the front page news today.
The only thing I would say though, Taurian, when it comes to like, because a lot of these people that we hold to the high regards, as long as it's genuine, because you never want it to be pandering, Is
a lot of celebrities.
No, because the hate, not even the hate, but like you can say the wrong thing from our ears and it'll still be genuine. An example is Kanye West meeting Donald Trump. That was genuine there.
Mm-hmm.
So when just be careful with that, like, because and also like with Terry Crews, where he tweeted out and saying, "Oh, it doesn't mean black is better," like, and we know that.
What I mean is if they use their platform to say, shout outs to the LGBT community, right? But they don't mean that, or they don't care about them, or they only saying that because it looks good, or their PR suggested that. To me, that defeats the purpose.
But I think Beyonce,
we would never know.
Tells her to stay anyway.
I think all these motherfuckers are human at the end of the day. So going back into what Dave Chappelle said, what during his special, I've never seen Dave Chappelle that serious a day in my life, ever. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to moments like this, sometimes we do have to go through the script, but because of everything that we're thinking about mentally that is fucking us up, sometimes we may forget about it. It may not be intentional, but it just happens because this shit is overwhelming. Like I said, I've never seen Dave Chappelle go that strong over that subject. He's hurt. He's hurt by the shit. You know what I'm saying? But I've heard him talk about, like in his past fucking stand-ups, the LGBT plus community, and that doesn't get acknowledged, that doesn't get recognized or whatever. But because this one was the largest viewed one,
but
now
also
he's under
he gets a lot of flack from the LGBTQ community because of jokes he's already made,
right,
and because of stances he's already taken. So he's already viewed by a lot of the LGBTQ comedy community as not an ally. Right. He's viewed very misogynistic, and very, not necessarily that he, is a ally to black women. So he has a lot of these things that come with him. So I wouldn't expect him to be the one for that voice. But I understand at this point, especially for the award that Beyonce is getting in the month we're in and the times going on, why everybody would expect it. But it goes to the same thing. They're human. They're learning. You know, exactly like Q said. This is all a process for everybody going through it to understand how to use their platform to its full capacity. And it's just different times. And I think it's going to take us being officially out of quarantine to really understand the full impact and change of everything.
Okay, Danny.
Beyonce's not used to talking either.
You said what, Felix?
No.
Beyonce's not used to talking either.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Taurian B.
And I'm First Class Regg.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Holla back, youngin'.
Woo, woo.